Cherry 2021 has found that countless successes in St. Paul, St. Petersburg, and Newark have shown and indicated that improving community policing efforts can help make a difference in your community, even in disadvantaged neighborhoods. I have studied the effects of community policing here at UVU, and I'm going to see how important it can be in today's society. Now, community policing helps stop crime and saves officers' lives in the process, making it even more essential that community policing is utilized correctly today. Now, throughout this speech, I want to show how and why community policing should be implemented more today, and through showing how beneficial it can be. Today I'm going to be talking about the benefits of community policing, such as saving officers' lives, protecting the community, and helping recruitment efforts, how it can be utilized, how it can be correctly utilized, and address how we can fix the issues that are currently in place in community policing policies today. Now, what is the status today in 2022 of community policing? Community policing, though the preferable method of policing efforts, has not been seen as often throughout the country, despite all of the benefits it offers communities and departments throughout the country. When utilized correctly, it is shown to be extremely beneficial. Johnson 2018 found that the Arlington Police Department has experienced several great successes in their commitment to community policing as a whole. Now, furthermore, Nimitz 2019 found that community policing has begun actually to play a role in counterterrorism efforts and even makes communities feel safe in their own homes, which is an integral part of what community policing is today. Now, while all of this may seem most opportune, and those are just a few of those benefits, including also saving officers' lives and helping other officers be recruited into departments because of community policing efforts. Community policing is not being utilized today throughout the country, despite all the benefits. Now, community policing, though extremely effective, has a lack of correct motivation today that has caused a muddied viewpoint on the idea of community policing as a whole. Now, Fry & Associates 2022 reported in Chicago, it is found that overall community policing is not a program, but a fundamental principle that should guide the purpose and method of using police to promote public safety. Now, they later go on to state that in Chicago, it is implemented community policing efforts, but the police have not shown a great enthusiasm and have lack of motivation to carry out these community policing efforts. Now, McGuire and Most 2009 later corroborate the lack of correct community policing today. They found that officers, though some in community policing cities, only have to spend 20% of their overall policing time engaged in community policing. They felt that they were engaged in futile efforts and felt that community policing was a waste of their time. Now, is that fixable? If it isn't, then there would be no discussion to have. Now, my solution would be for police reform to utilize community policing the way that it was meant to help others and to stop crime through cooperation between the police and communities as a whole. Now, this is a very difficult task, as this requires trust and cooperation. Now, reforming the way community policing is being used directly impacts the community and can create the greater trust between the officers and the public. But it has to be earned. Now, Cherry 2021 later suggests that utilizing community policing correctly would be for leaders to prioritize reform and to reach out to leaders to hire more officers, to develop partnerships, and most importantly, to build connections between the police and the community members as a whole, which makes sense as it is called community policing. Now, police reform would then create greater harmony between the community and police departments, allowing for a more succinct relationship built on trust. That is the most important part of community policing today, as without a lack of trust, these relationships cannot exist in the slightest, and it will lead to what we have currently. And this can only happen if community policing is utilized correctly. That is the key, utilized correctly, not just implemented, but implemented in the way it was meant to. Direct cooperation between both the community and the police department requires both commitment and resolve. Without the proper reform of community policing policies, we would then be left with what we have currently, like we showed, a divide. Now, we don't want this divide to continue on, and we want to have a better relationship between the communities and police departments. Now, without the correct implementation of community policing methods and the impending benefits of correctly implementing them, this has led to divides throughout communities and police departments, as well as a lack of police being even interested in carrying out community policing efforts. Now, as a result, this is shown to be a massive divide, and community policing has faltered, and some have questioned its purpose today. However, its benefits are strong. They are built in trust between communities and police departments. Community policing helps save lives, not only of police officers, but also of community members as a whole. Having studied criminal justice here and wanting to further my career into criminal justice, I have seen the importance that community policing can have, though I've also seen the negatives it has been able to showcase today, as shown by lack of motivation even. Now, as a result of these negatives and benefits, it is imperative that community policing is enacted correctly throughout the country as a means in which community and police officers work together instead of in their own self-interests. Now, how can one person do this? Demand change. Your voice truly does matter. People will listen to you if you act out. Community policing is not just effective for your community and for police departments in your area. It is important to you. It can help save your life, and it is important in your community. That is why it is imperative that you demand the change today, as you can help make a difference in someone's life.